Anyway, super excited to be here. Thank you for showing up. I know that you could be anywhere. You could be running your businesses on the phone with your clients, enjoying the sun, enjoying the snow in some places. Instead, you are here on this call. So I really appreciate your commitment. And therefore, I'm going to just jump right in and I'm going to share my slides with you just to get started here. So now you should see my slides next to me so that we can jump right in. Now, Linda told you a lot about me in terms of my achievements professionally, etc. But I feel like it's nice to get to know somebody personally as well, right? I actually loved seeing your messages coming in terms of, where are you located, etc. So I'm going to share something a little bit more personal in terms of, who I am. This is my husband, Kane. We run and own together the company Industry Rockstar that Linda was talking about earlier on. And with Kane, we've been partners in life and in business for the last 10 years now. And with him, I've been organizing over 2,000 events in 32 different countries and, meeting all these amazing people. So a lot of the content that I'm going to share today is content that we've been co-creating and using in our companies, etc. And one of our biggest achievements, though, although we talk a lot about business in these events, is our beautiful kids. And actually here you only see two, but we have a third one. Here we are in Sardinia, where we spend a half of our year. And this is our third little one, who right now is actually much older than this. He's 3 years old, but for some weird reasons that we haven't been able to actually understand yet, he's very camera shy. I don't know how he arrived to our family being camera shy, but it happens. So we don't have any updated picture, but these are our three kids. My daughter instead, Arania here, she's like the performer, already singing and dancing on stages since she was 3, currently on her path to writing her first book, and going to perform at Disneyland next month now. So super excited. She's like the party, lover and the stage lover and performance, etc. Totally different kids. And then Ari here, the oldest, he's almost 13 and he is much more kind of mathematical engineer mind. So we love seeing them grow up. Now, as I told you, with my husband during the last 10 years, we've been putting up events just like the ones that you see here, traveling the world and meeting business owners everywhere and organizing these fun events with Sir Richard Branson or with Tony Robbins and with many other speakers and thought leaders out there. But here's the deal. In order to set up the expectation right, today I'm here and I'm super excited. I was very excited when Linda, invited me because, as she said, it is my passion to really support female founders and female business leaders. But I'm actually not a business coach. I do that out of my passion. I love to train and I love to share my systems. But everything that I'm going to share with you comes really from my own experience of the last 20 years. Linda already told you some of that, so I'll be very fast. But just so you understand the depth of what I'm going to share with you, everything comes from my own experience, 20 years in business, 9 international companies. Linda said everyone reached 7 and 8 figure yearly revenue. And then, we did organize 2,000 live events in 32 different countries. I am currently on about 10 advisory boards, including an investment fund in Luxembourg, a private bank in the UK. We have impacted with our content over 3 million business owners between online and offline. And as we said before, we have generated a total of $500 million just in my own companies, without even counting the companies that, for example, my husband has said where I wasn't involved, or all the companies of our students and partners, etc. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because, I'm very passionate about revenue expansion, and people always ask me, why are you passionate about revenue expansion? And it's not about revenue. One thing that I've learned in my journey is that revenue helps us have more possibilities, more opportunities, more choices. It's the luxury of choices. And that's what I personally want for every woman in business out there, actually for every woman in general, but I specialize in business. So that's where I can make my, my dent there. I shared with Linda earlier this week during our interview, my story of coming actually from a family where my grandmother was very talented, great talents, never understood how to create a business around it. And therefore, she ended up spending her whole life accepting compromises and lifestyle choices, etc., that she should not have had, to accept. And I know that unfortunately that still happens for a lot of women. So my experience is that by helping women business owners really optimize their revenue, we open up the possibility for them to make different choices for themselves, but as well, we know that when women business owners have higher revenue, they normally reinvest that in the community, they hire people, they change the life of a lot of other people, and that's what I'm passionate about. So since I started saying I'm not a business owner and a business coach, you might wonder, who am I then? Well, what I normally do with businesses is I'm a business behavior analyst. So I love to go into businesses and understand how is the CEO thinking, how is the business behaving, what is it actually communicated to the marketplace. I'm a market behavior analyst, so I love to look at how the market is shifting. That during the last 2 years, the markets have shifted faster than ever before. And so it's important for us as business owners to understand that and to really be, kind of understanding the trends and understanding the shifts and the changes. And of course, I'm passionate about consumers as well, because without consumers, we would have no businesses. So very important, of course, to understand, how they think, what actually inspires somebody to buy from our businesses, and how can we communicate with them in a way that they can see the value before experiencing the products or services that we might be offering to them. So here we go. During this presentation, we are actually going to answer this question: what causes high ticket offers to convert higher? How do we actually get them to convert higher? And what I'm going to talk about today are three main things. The first one is the value stack, and we're going to look at that in a slight different way, from a different perspective. Then the second one is pricing, and understanding what is the science of pricing and how can we actually understand whether we are hitting the price points that we should have in our companies. And then it's about the relationship. How do we create that relationship with the marketplace, with our consumers, etc., in a way that they feel actually inspired to buy our high ticket offers? They feel like they trust us, they know us enough to take that leap of faith. Great. So let's get going. The first thing we're going to talk about is value stack. And here we're going to talk really about the hierarchy of perceived value. So we're going to look at how do consumers perceive value. Because especially if you are in services, and actually if you want, just right here in the chat window, whenever you want, whether you're in services or in products, are you actually offering to your market services or physical products? Now, when you're in services, you know that saying yes to an offer for our customers is really a leap of faith. And I see that many of you actually say that you're in services. Awesome. This presentation will be particularly relevant to you, although I will mention some of our clients that use these strategies in products as well. So should you ever want to expand, you will find very interesting things there too. But so when they say yes to us, it's a total leap of faith, right? They haven't experienced the services yet. So what can we do to position our services in a way that the clients can experience the value before? So we will look a little bit at that. Then we're going to look at how to use bonuses in slightly different ways than how we normally think about them. And then we're going to look at different modalities that we can actually service our clients. So hierarchy of perceived value. There is a myth in the marketplace that some of you might have heard that says that depending whether your offer is directly connected to an ROI, so to a return on the investment or not, you might be able to command different price points. For example, you might have heard that, you command different price points if you are, a meditation coach, or if you are an investment coach, right? Because an investment coach, because they help people make money, they can charge more. This is like a common myth in the marketplace. And we're going to look at why this is actually not totally true. There are different ways that we can change the perceived value that have nothing to do with what we do. It's just about how we package it up. It's just about how we position it. So let's look at second, how does it work? First of all, we have different ways that we can offer our services, right? First thing we can do is offering something completely automated. That would be something like books, templates, ebooks, etc. Now, can these things offer a lot of value? Sure, they can. Would people throw thousands of dollars at you for a book or for an ebook? Probably not, right? So in terms of the perceived value, it's kind of low in our scale. Although, again, it can deliver a lot of great information. As we start to climb up that ladder, we start to look at things like, for example, live group experiences. This can be group forums, this can be group coaching. And as you see, like there is an ascension inside of that. Group forums, mostly free. Some people do have you pay to get on their group forum. Some people have small offers, like if you want to post or advertise inside of their group forum, still low value perceived, therefore low price point. Group coaching starts to pull us up, right? It's more interactive. There is, normally there is some sort of system connected to it, and therefore is a package that starts to pull the perceived value up and therefore the price point. If we keep going up, though, we start to look, for example, at private. Now, our private, we know as service providers, this is the less leverage service that we can offer, right? Because when we work one-on-one with a client, that time is gone. We can't do anything else. It's not leveraged. You can write this down if you don't have that already. Like if you do one-on-one, your only leverage point is your price point. So if you're offering one-on-one services, you need to make sure that you offer them as a high ticket offer, because that's your only leverage point in that moment. So here we find things like one-on-one sessions, of course, and then we go up one more step and we find done for you. So when you don't just teach somebody how to achieve a result, but you help them achieve it. So you can either create assets for somebody or you can create results. For example, let's assume that you are a marketing expert. You could go out and say, I am going to help you create or I'm going to create for you a website or a funnel. In this funnel, you will be able to use it to get leads. Or you could go to the same person saying, I am going to give you the result. I'm going to give you the leads, right? And of course, if you think about assets or results, which one carries the highest value is, of course, the results, right? Because if we give somebody assets, there is still the question, will I be able to use it? Will I be able to create the results? If we give somebody the results, there is no question asked. And as we go up this ladder, the perceived value goes up. Now, it has nothing to do with what you do, though. Everything, like every one of you, could just position and package up their expertise in a different way and command completely different price points. And because I don't know all of you yet, I'm sure I will, and I will be able to actually start to use you as examples. Today, I'm going to use myself as an example because that's like one common denominator here. So let me show you how I use this so you can see how, doing the exact same thing, you can command completely different price points. So I have a workbook, a high ticket offer workbook, super high value, awesome, packed with 13 different worksheets and exercises. The same things I do privately with people, just in a workbook. And this is free. Is an opt-in, is a database builder, right? I give it away. It's something that people get, and then they normally write me saying, oh my gosh, this was amazing. But they wouldn't pay thousands of dollars to get it. Then I have a high ticket master sales program that is a 12-week group coaching program where we really work on creating the high ticket offers, understanding the sales process, understanding the customer journey. And then we have 6 weeks that is a sales sprint, where for 6 weeks, we are really focused on just creating results, right? It's a group program, and this is a $5,000 group program. It's awesome. It's amazing. And $5,000 is the right price point for that. Then I work with clients privately. Very often when I do revenue optimization things, I do similar things. I work on their packages, I work on their sales processes. What I do doesn't change that much. I mean, of course, it's personalized to the company, but the knowledge, the wisdom that I use is the same. And yet that is a service that I charge $100,000 for, just because of the modality, the package that it is in. On top of that, I actually own a sales team. So a team that, if you do, I don't know, webinars, maybe you do live events, like 3-day events, maybe you do challenges, and from there you sell your high ticket offers. Well, most of the experts out there, as they start to scale, they discover they don't want to sit on the phone with all these potential clients because they don't have the time, because they have paying clients already they need to service. So it becomes difficult. And sometimes they become the bottleneck to their own growth. So in that case, we come in with the sales team and we say, don't worry, send us the calls, taking the potential clients. We're going to learn about your service, learn about your packages, learn about your company, then jump on these calls and close clients for you. So this is done for you, results. And for that, it's normally a fixed amount plus a percentage of the revenue that we produce for the company. And it ends up being around $200,000 to $500,000 per year. Again, I use the same exact knowledge and wisdom that I use in my free workbook. It's how to close high ticket offers. And yet the price point changes completely, right? So for every one of you, based on how you package your knowledge, your wisdom, your services, you can command very different price points. It's not about changing who you are. It's not about changing what you do. It's not even about changing the market very often. It's just about really positioning it in a different way. So this is one thing that very often people start to, think about their own business in a different way. Now, from here, one of the things that goes into high ticket offer is our next topic, which is bonuses. How do we actually use bonuses in our business? And of course, I know that you're all very experienced business owners. Linda talks about this community very, very highly. So I know that you already know that you need to have bonuses, that you probably need to have, drivers in order to drive sales in a specific time, etc. But what I'm going to talk about today is something a little bit more sophisticated, which is called embedded partnerships. So what this is when you actually bring in another business as part of your delivery in order to increase the experience value, the perceived value of your offer. For example, this is actually a brand that we launched last year, and this is called Elevate. And it's specifically a brand, a mastermind that we have created together with my husband to help service providers that are at about 6 figures and want to really understand how to scale. So we do this work very often privately. Most of our clients privately are high 6 figures or 7-figure companies already. But we were getting a lot of requests from younger businesses that had just crossed the 6-figure mark. They wanted to understand how to scale faster. And so we created this as a group program, as a group mastermind, to share all these systems with them as well in a more leveraged way. Now, this is part of our landing page for that program, and this was on our landing page as well. Now, you might or might not know many of the people in this picture, but the first one is John Assaraf, which, of course, is a very, very highly regarded expert in the area of personal development, neuroscience, etc. Then Mike Koenig, big marketer. Mike Filsaime, the founder of GrooveFunnels and very big in technology development, etc. Barry is actually an expert in virtual events, actually in live and virtual events now. And she's been one of the consultants that, for example, went to Tony Robbins when everybody went virtual and Tony was looking to, optimize his own experience of virtual events. Well, Barry is one of the consultants that went in and said, well, that's how we run virtual events, because we were all trying to figure it out, right? Back in 2020, when everything shut down and we were forced into this modality. And then there is Scott Hallman, which is a optimization specialist, and Jennifer and Brian Franklin, and they are very high-end leadership coaches and consultants in Silicon Valley. Roland Fraser, which many of you might know, does M&A and consults a lot of businesses on acquisition, exit strategies. And then lastly, there is Kevin Harrington from the show Shark Tank, who is an investor and really helps people understand how to package up their business if they are looking for investment. Now, why did we have them on the page? Well, we had them on the page because they were part of the program. And they were part of the program because they were embedded partners. So as embedded partners, they come in. The program is a 1-year-long program, is still going. And every month, one of them comes in and delivers a 4-hour training for our group. Now, why do they do that? It's actually, they don't do that for a keynote fee. This is not the model in this case. They do it because they are embedded partners. So as they come and they deliver that, and even in the sales process, part of the sale was that they would get access to these amazing experts. And every one of them offered on top of their weekly and monthly trainings inside of the program, they offered as well a program of theirs that was a program that was sold in the marketplace for anywhere between $500 and $2,000. And so in order to service that, they actually got a list of all the buyers. They started to go through their funnels. So imagine for yourself, right? If you would close a partnership with somebody as they go out and they sell their own thing. So you're not involved in the sales, you're not involved in the marketing. They sell, their program, they sell their coaching package, they sell, and then they call you and they say, great, these are the buyers, put them into your funnel, please, because as part of what they bought from me, they got X, Y, and Z from you, whatever you actually negotiated with them. And so now you're getting lead into your business constantly without having to generate them yourself. And this is embedded partnership. I actually just taught this in a marketing mastermind where there were all business owners that are actually in the process of learning how to optimize their paid marketing. And they loved it so much. I actually did a talk similar to this. And they asked me to come back the next month and just focus on this. And they were like, we just need to understand how to do this, because this would be amazing if in between doing paid marketing, we could just have leads pouring into our funnels from partners that we have closed, and we can all kind of help each other grow. So these are some of the things that are going on, in the background. Again, I just prepared actually this whole presentation for them on this topic. And as I was doing that, I collected a whole bunch of examples, which were amazing. And it really shows how it's going on around us. And we just sometimes don't realize it. Just as an example, for Valentine's Day, my husband got me some Bluetooth, earbuds. And as I opened them, I opened this beautiful case, and there was a little thing that says try for free. And I pulled it up, and there was a card that says, in order to enjoy this even more, try Apple Music for free for 30 days. Log in with this code and you will get it free for. Why did I do it? I didn't buy an Apple product. That was an embedded partnership. I bought these earbuds. And in technology, you might see it very often, where you get a discount or a code where you can try a certain product, a certain technology, a certain service for free for a certain amount of time. Why? Because they want you in that funnel, right? They want to be able to get that relationship going with you. They want to be able to start that conversation and try to upsell you later. Now, there is nothing wrong. You can always say no, but they wouldn't even have had that channel of communication open, wouldn't it be for that partnership? And the same thing you can do. You can start to actually have leads coming into your business, conversation starting, a relationship, etc. And then there is the possibility that these people will actually upgrade and buy some of your paying offer and potentially some of your high paid offers. Now, this takes us to the next thing, which is about different modalities. So every one of us can deliver what we do in different modalities. Now, here we are kind of in a training. There is video involved, there is audio involved, and I could do the same thing in a very different modality, right? So it turns out there are actually 5 different ways that people like to learn. And since, as service providers, one of the things that we do is actually we educate. I mean, to these days now, even product businesses, they need to educate constantly. They need to, offer something that keeps that relationship going and nurtures, their clients and customers. So education is very, very important. Now, there are 5 ways we can do it and 5 ways that people love to consume education. First of all is reading. So many people, maybe you love to read, and you might go and read articles, read white papers, read reports, read stuff like that, right? Many of you just nod if you like to read stuff. When it comes to learning, you might pick up a book, you might pick up Awesome. Great. Thank you. Next possibility is listening, right? Podcasts. Awesome. Linda has an amazing podcast. That's a lot of listening, right? Audiobooks have, been growing a lot because a lot of people love to listen, even because while you listen, you can drive, you can do the dishes, you can, work out, you can do a lot of things. It's a possibility to actually get other stuff done that are more mechanical while you consume an educational, listening program, audio program. From there is the possibility to watch. Now, videos, you can write this down, are the number one ways to communicate with your clients. When you cannot be in person with them, videos are definitely the best thing. And because you can only be in person with so many people, videos are the best thing in terms of leverage as well. So very important webinars, things like this. And, since we're in a women's community, let's say as well that in average, if you work with women, videos are very appreciated because as women, we love to have a more holistic experience, right? We love to see who is talking to us. We love to see if they're smiling. We love to, be able to comment on a cute outfit or something like that. It's part of who we are. Like it's part of how we build communities. So if your market is women, videos become even more important. And of course, again, if you're here and if you are part of the community, the leadership community, Linda is amazing at doing that. She shows up. She's always beautiful, bubbly. It's part of how we communicate with our clients. And so it's the same thing for you. The next one is group experiences. Now, group experiences can be things like, of course, workshops and trainings, and seminars and stuff like that. But it could be very different as well, depending on your industry. It could be fashion shows. It could be sports events. It could be cooking classes. It could be anything, right? Anything where you bring together a group of people, that is something that is a group experience. And there are many people that love that. That actually, there's actually a big wave right now of people that missed this so much over the last 2 years that they can't wait to be able to come back in person. And that's why if you are planning for live events, like that's definitely the right time because you have a big group of people that are craving that experience and haven't been able to have it for such a long time. And lastly, it's one-on-one. Again, the one-on-one attention, that customized, path, that customized time and relationship where you're just focused on one client. And there are some people that just love that because they know that when they work privately with you, they can achieve bigger results faster because it's just completely customized to their own experience. So these are all different ways that we can deliver the same exact thing, the same exact service, the same exact talent, the same exact systems. We can write an article, we can create audio programs, we can create video series, we can create retreats, we can create seminars, we can sell one-on-one. And all of that, all these different ways are ways that, again, will shape our packages. Now, I can tell you that one of the best ways to create high ticket offers is to actually take a little bit of all 5 modalities, because in your market, just like here, if I would ask, I know that, several of you would like, reading more, and others might prefer watching. And there might be some people that just love the one-on-one attention. And the same is for your market. Different people have different preferences. So if you include all 5 modalities in your packages, you will be able to make more people happy, to get more people excited, to get more people to say yes to you, and to get more people as well to get results inside of your programs, because you can cover your bases, right? So this is one thing to start to think about as you create your packages. And as we talk about covering your bases, the next thing is, how do we cover our market in terms of price points? And here we go into the psychology of pricing, and we're going to talk about this technique that is called cover your market. What are the price points we need to have in our business in order to make sure we optimize, we increase conversion, and we really cover our market? And as well, how does price anchoring work in order to increase the conversion of our high ticket offers? So in terms of cover your markets, turns out there are actually 5 different tiers, pricing tiers, that we need to have in our business in order to be optimized. And I will go through that very fast because the next thing is something that you will love. Here, tier one is something for free. So we all need to have that free ebook, that free, video series, that free article, that free, assessment, something that we can give away, right? To build our list, to get people in our database, to get that conversation started. From there, we have a small offer that normally for B2C clients, for B2C businesses, is something underneath $500. And if you work in B2B, so if you sell to other businesses, I'm going to tell you in a moment how these numbers change for you. Tier number 3 is something between $500 and $2,000. So here we start to be actually into what we normally would refer as our main offer. Tier number 4 is something between $2,000 and $10,000. And then we have tier number 5, which is our premium offers, our high ticket offers. And that's something that is above $10,000. So these are the 5 price points that you should have in your business if you are a B2C business. If you're a B2B instead, you should add 10 to these price points. So for example, I know Melissa here, so I know that she does storytelling and she works with CEOs, right, in big companies, corporations. If she would go in saying, hey, by the way, I have a storytelling workshop for $125, they would probably laugh at her, right? Because they would be like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not even working with us. Like, we can understand this is totally not a match for who we are as clients. So she would go in and she would probably say, hey, I have a workshop that I can do here in your office. Is $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. I have an assessment that I can do of your leader's ability of sharing a powerful story, and it's $3,000, right? So something below $5,000 is kind of her door opener. She will have an offer that gets her into the door, gets her into, these clients to say yes. And it's normally something underneath $5,000. Then she will work with, that relationship in order to get them to say yes to the next thing, which might be, a series of workshops for $10,000, for workshops and coaching for $20,000, for $50,000, right? And she will work up her price ladder with the idea that her high ticket offer as a B2B consultant is ideally something above $100,000 as a contract to land with a company. So that's how this works. And so start to look at your own catalog and start to look at, are we missing any of these tiers? And how can we actually fill these gaps? Because having these 5 tiers, what it does is that it allows you, again, to have that icebreaker, have that easy yes at the beginning, and then as well have a price ladder where you can ascend people to higher and higher offers, and everyone can find what, the right offer for them, the right price point for what they're looking for. That's why we call it cover your market. It increases your conversion because it offers everybody an opportunity to work with you at the level that they're looking for. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is price anchoring and how do we use that. Now, you might have seen price anchoring, something where, again, people say, I am, $500,000 to work with privately, but today I'm going to work with you in a group and it will only be $1,000, right? Why do they say that? They're not offering the $500,000 package anyway. Well, what do they say? Because they're anchoring. They're anchoring their value as something very, very high. Now, why does it work? First of all, this works great for tiered offers. So if you have, for example, you have a group coaching where you have 3 different tiers, your highest tier will work as an anchoring the value of that program high so that if they decide to invest at a lower price point, it feels like it's a steal. It's a great deal. Oh my gosh, I got into this program, it's up to $50,000 and I got in at $10,000. It's actually very, very good. I can show you how this works because I actually did an experiment with one of my private clients. This is a couple that lives in the UK, and Chris here used to be an osteopath when I started to work with him. He used to be an osteopath that used to earn £2,000 a month and spend £8,000 a month. So he wasn't a very successful osteopath. We started to turn things around, and in 1 year, he built a 6-figure company, and he actually won an award for how fast he was growing. So much that because this is not a very common story inside of the practitioner work, a lot of people started to say, hey, Chris, what have you done this year to turn things around so much? What has changed for you? And he said, well, I started to learn marketing and sales and, high ticket offers and packaging and all these things. And they were like, wow, we should learn that. So here, welcome to mentorship programs, passion to profit for practitioners, because he said, oh, there is an opportunity here. And he started this. Now, a few years ago, he came, we actually met for a strategy day in person during the summer. And he was showing us his current offers. And he had 3 tiers. They went 5,000, 9,000, and 15,000 pounds. And his question during that day was, how do we sell more of the 15,000 pound offers? Because for some reason, they're not moving. And he thought that I would say, well, let's look at the inclusions. We might need to include something else, etc. Instead, I said, well, I think we need to create a $30,000, 30,000 pound offer here. And he said, what are you talking about? I'm not selling the 15,000 one. Why would I create a 30,000 one? And I said, Chris, do you trust me? We've been working together for a while. He said, okay, I'm going to blindly trust you. So we have created this with a new package here, as you see, 29,997, so 30,000 pounds package. And about 6 weeks after our meeting, he had his next 3 days, presented this new package flyer here with 5 price points up to 30,000 pounds. And here is what happened. Before, his average sale was about 7,500 pounds. Once he introduced these packages, his average sales went to 16,000 pounds, because not only he started to sell more of the 15,000 pounds because it felt like a much better deal because it wasn't the highest thing, but then some people started to buy the 22,000 pound package, and he actually had 2 people buying the 30,000 pound package. And so his average sale just went way up. Now, we created that package originally, not even thinking about selling that many of them, even because in your higher end tickets, packages, normally you don't want that many people. They're not created for the masses. They're created just for the people that are the right people for that, right? It's normally something very exclusive. But they reframe the value of every one of your other offers after that. So that's why price anchoring is so great. And that's why, again, we said it's so great for tiered offers, because it helps you actually increase, the average sales. It's great as well for value perception. So as you talk with people about price anchoring, etc., it's great to actually change the perceived value of what you offer. Here, for example, you might have seen something like that going on in the marketplace right now. In the last couple of years, a lot of experts that have run, virtual events or stuff like that have created systems like this, where you have a first price point. Let's say that the tier 1 is $7,000. Then there is a tier 2 that is $15,000. And then there is a tier 3 that is $21,000. And then during this event, they say, but actually, you will be able to get everything that is included in tier 3 for the price point of tier 2. Now, first of all, did tier 3 even exist? I mean, or was it just a way to actually reframe the value of tier 2, right? Because what happens is that now everybody feels so excited. Oh my gosh, I can get that $21,000 package for $15,000. Like, I should get in immediately, right? So it's just a way to change the perception of our price points. If they would have just shown a $15,000 price point for the inclusions, probably people would have said, I don't know, like there is no sizzle, there is no excitement, there is no, instead this way they feel like they're getting a great deal. And therefore people are literally running to get to these offers. And so this is a whole system just optimized to sell this second tier. The third tier, nobody can even get into it because, who would pay $21,000 if they can get the whole thing for 15 anyway? So that one is just created as a perception for our marketplace. And so start to think about how you are actually creating a perception in your marketplace. What are people actually, getting communicated to? How are you creating that excitement about your offers? And then last thing that I wanted to talk about the relationship with our marketplace. And specifically, I wanted to talk about something is about authority that is becoming so important today. And it's becoming so important because in the last 2 years, where everybody has gotten online, it's been great. Of course, everybody now is, has been able to open markets, that are, again, on the other side of the world without even having to leave their office. That's great. And at the same time, everybody is competing with everybody. You're not competing locally anymore. You're competing globally, no matter what you do, because you're competing with everybody that is trying to get your client's attention from everywhere around the world, right? So creating an experience of authority is becoming really, really, really important. And there is one way to do that that will immediately raise your profile as well, which is working with celebrity connections. So for every one of you, you might be in industries where there might be some people that have a more established brand. There might be some people that have more visibility than you. There might have some people that have, some sort of connections that you can leverage, and partnering with them will not only raise your profile, which is great, but because we are here talking about high ticket offers, it will actually increase your conversion as well. And again, we tested that too. In 2019, we participated in this event. We organized this event in Tel Aviv where we brought Tony Robbins for the first time in Tel Aviv, first time he actually presented live in Israel. And we wanted to see if the conversion for high ticket offers being aligned and associated with such a high brand would change. So the way it worked, that was an event that we delivered in a big stadium, 15,000 people. And from there, we offered tickets for our 3-day events. During our 3-day events that we went back a few months later to deliver, we offered our high ticket events, our high ticket offer. And we had done it before. So we had run a 3-day event in Tel Aviv before without celebrity the year prior. And during that event, our average sale was $17,000. Then in 2019, we did the event with Tony, and we went back for our 3-day where we were associated with a celebrity, with Tony. And our average sale, delivering the same exact 3-day, no changes, went up to $23,333. So we didn't change anything that we did. We had the same syntax, the same run sheet, the same presentation, the same workbook, the same everything, right? What changed was that these people had seen us present with Tony. These people had connected with us and gotten to know us as the people that had brought Tony to Tel Aviv. That was the only change. And we were able to monetize over $5,000 more in average, the average sale. So that turned into several $100,000 more in revenue from that event compared to the one prior. And that's the power of actually creating this relationship. So for all of you, for every one of you, and that's one of the things that I actually work very often with my private clients as well, is who can you leverage? Leverage sometimes has like a little bit of a negative connotation, but it's not about taking advantage of. It's about who can you partner with? Normally, there is always a win-win situation, right? There is a common advantage. There is something that you get. There is something they get. Who can that be in your marketplace that can help you raise your profile, raise your brand, and therefore raise your conversion as well? And I'm leaving you with this. This is something that I actually learned in 2017 as I was hanging out with Sir Richard Branson when we did this event. I was interviewing him, and before that, we were hanging out in the green room. And we were talking about, businesses and stuff. And I was telling them about my passion about helping, women specifically really break through their revenue ceilings and empowering them around money and around revenue and around conversion. And he said something that really, really stuck with me and that changed, that impacted a lot of my work afterwards. And he said, above all, you want to create something that you are proud of. And so I think that's something that, I want for all of us always to remember, that as we keep talking about conversion, as we talk about strategies to increase conversion, we want to never lose sight of the fact that one of the most important things is to create something that we can truly be proud of. And